What is all this stuff, Buttons? Is it for you? No, that's not fair. Hey guys, welcome to Dog Guide. I'm Swayze and this is Buttons. In this episode, I want to talk about all the specific things that you need to get when you're getting a new puppy. And there's so much of it. They say that there's no such thing as a free dog, and based on my checking account, I could agree with them. Well, first off, I have to go to the store and buy a few things. So why don't we go do that first, and then we can come back and actually go through everything that we need. Okay, so tons of options for collars and leashes, but you gotta have one. This way, if they ever accidentally do get out of the house, you got your little name tag on them and they can be found easily. But you also want to be able to just hook on the leash and take them outside to go to the bathroom instead of having to put on the harness and get everything ready. This is so much easier, but there's so many choices. I think because Meiji was originally known as the pink lady, I'm going to stick to some pink colors, but they have so many options, which one to choose from? I'm going to take a look around and let you guys know what I decided. So we found this adorable collar, perfect for her, and this much more simple but also adorable pink collar. I decided to go for a medium in both sizes. Since I don't actually have Meiji yet, I'm not 100% sure what size she would need. But luckily, big box stores like this will let you return the items if they don't fit, and you can exchange them out for something that will. There are a lot of options when it comes to dog beds. Because Meiji's going to be sleeping in a crate, I want to be sure that she has something comfortable. But because she's a puppy, I also want to make sure that she doesn't have something that she can just totally destroy. Something like this, while adorable and very comfortable, is a little bit too much for a puppy. Maybe when she gets older and grows out of her chewing phase. For now, what you want to do is get something very simple that they can lay on that'll be comfortable, like a blanket. That way if they destroy it, it's not much mess, and it's not that big of a deal. Easy to buy, not a $200 bed. Also, you want to have some comfortable beds around the house for them to lay in because they're not going to be in the crate all the time, and having them just sleep on the floor is not fair. So, get them something small, like this. It's small, it's still comfy, but it could still be destroyed. So make sure if you even get something like this for when they're around the house that you monitor them until they've passed that tearing up puppy phase, which could be all the way to 3 years. Just like everything else, there's so many choices when it comes to brushes. What I've learned from having labs in the past, the best kind of brush that you can actually get to get rid of all of that hair are these brushes that look like horse brushes. They really get the undercoat, they shed them so well, it's amazing. You will have enough hair to make another dog by the end of it. Some dogs though are very picky about their brushes, so you might want to try a few different ones just to see what works best for your puppy. There are so many food options in these dog stores that it can be overwhelming. I mean, that's just one aisle. One thing that I recommend if you are getting a service dog like I am is to go for a brand that is common. Get something that your vet approves, but something that is so simple and so easy to find that you could find it at any store. You don't have to come just to the box stores, you don't have to buy it online, you definitely don't want to have one that you have to get from your vet. All of that is too much. If you're traveling with your service dog everywhere, what if you're there longer than you brought enough food for? What if you forgot your food? You want to make sure that you have enough to feed it while it's there without it getting an upset stomach because it has to eat new food. So find a brand that's good, but also common. So one of the main things that I highly recommend is a Kong toy. And don't just get one, get several. Because what you use them for is to keep your puppy distracted, to keep them so that they are enjoying themselves and chewing and doing all the things that puppies love to do, but doing it without getting in trouble. That's exactly what the Kong is for. You stuff it with a little treat, some peanut butter. You could even just stuff it with their food. It helps them learn how to chew properly, and It gives them some entertainment for a little while and wears them out, especially when they're teething. It's great. A couple of these. This size is the perfect size for Meiji while she's young. Once she gets older, maybe we'll graduate up to the giant ones. Okay, so another thing you can get your dog is some chews. Do not get rawhide. Those are terrible for their stomach, can tear up their throat and their stomach lining, so definitely avoid those. But you can get some all natural dog chews. There are things like chicken skin, or they even have chicken feet. It's disgusting, but this is one of Buttons' favorites. So these are a great treat to help occupy your dog while you're trying to keep to remain calm and stay active, but not destroying things. I'll probably get a few of these now for Buttons, even though Meiji isn't coming home yet, because again, she loves these. You want to check out what? Okay, so we're all done here. Now let's go home and see all of the other stuff that you need for a brand new puppy. Okay, so now we have everything from the big box pet store. Let's go through everything that we have to discuss what all kinds of things that you need and why. First, for the obvious one in the room, a crate. I'm definitely going to be crate training Meiji. I highly recommend this for anyone, especially if you're getting a puppy, but even if you're getting a new dog that is older that you adopted, because you don't know what their bathroom habits are, you don't know what their habits are for chewing on things, or what they would be like when they're home alone. So a crate is a great option for when you need to be able to leave them home alone and not worry about anything getting destroyed. This is also a great place for them to sleep because dogs are actually cave animals. Not like they lived in a cave, but they like having that nice enclosed space. My plan is to eventually cover this with a blanket so that she can seem like she's closed in and feel a little bit safer. One thing you'll notice about this is it's huge. It's a little bit big for Meiji as a puppy, but it'll be a perfect size for her when she's full grown because we do expect her to get up anywhere from 50 to 65 pounds. So this will be a great crate for her entire life. But you want to make sure that the crate has these dividers or comes with a divider so that you can shorten it and make it smaller for them, because I guarantee you if they have space to be able to lay down and space to use the bathroom when they're puppies and not potty trained, they will. So you want to make sure that you section it off so it's just big enough for them to stand up, turn around, and lay down. For Meiji as a puppy, we'll see what size she needs. Right now I have no idea, but I'm assuming probably at least half of this will be taken away that she won't be able to use. Also, what I'm going to do is I already have a blanket with Meiji at the breeder, and so we're going to bring that home with us. It'll have the smells of all of her brothers and sisters that she's been playing with and herself, and we're going to put that at the bottom of the cage for her to sleep on. That'll be perfect for a nice, safe reminder for her so she doesn't feel alone, especially for those first few nights. So you've already seen some of the stuff that we got at the pet store, like the Kongs. I got two because you want to make sure that you have one ready to go and one cleaning. That way you're not left going, oh God, I got to clean this one out that you just used or just had and fill it up and do it all over again. Because some of the good stuff you could do is actually freeze it, and that makes it harder for them to get into. So this way you have one prepared. We also already saw the adorable leash. I'm super excited. I really hope it fits. And the more standard collar. You also saw my favorite kind of brush for a big shedding dog like a lab. I call them horse brushes. I'm sure they have a different name, but this is great for getting all of their hairs out. On to the new stuff you haven't seen yet. Obviously, the dog bowl. I got these. What's best is they come attached to this rubber mat. The rubber mat has a lip on it because a lot of puppies tend to play in their food or water bowls and make a mess. This way, the rubber mat kind of catches most of that. And they can't easily just flip it over and spill it everywhere because the bowls are actually sucked into this little thing. Also, to go along with the collars, you want to make sure you have a name tag. This one has Meiji's name and my phone number on the back. Always have this on your animal, just in case anything goes wrong. Luckily, Meiji is also tagged with a chip, so in case we lost her and say she lost her collar because it broke off because she got stuck in something, we'd still be able to find her. But this is your first resort, and this is the best thing that you can possibly get for such a cheap price for any dog. A few more things that you should consider when you're getting a puppy, or any dog really, is some chew toys. They're great for keeping your dogs activated and chewing, but chewing on something that they're supposed to be chewing on. Now, these are brand new because they're too big for Button, so it's not like I can give the puppy some of Button's old ones. But what they recommend you do is kind of shave this off with like a zester or something so that you can get that hard plastic coating off, just a slight layer, and then they get more of the flavor and they get more into chewing this. You get them into chewing this or these puppy versions, which is supposed to be great for their teeth and when they're teething, and then they won't chew on your furniture or your shoes or anything else. So these I highly recommend when you're getting a new puppy that may be a chewer. Even if they're not a chewer, you want to make sure you have something like this because you need to be able to keep them occupied while you're doing other things. Something else you want to get for your dog and their teeth is a toothbrush. I have this for Buttons and I wish I'd started it sooner because she is not a huge fan of the toothbrush. If you get them started soon enough, then when they get older, they'll do this actually as a treat, or they will just willingly do it without a problem. And if you've ever had stinky puppy breath, you really want to make sure you do this. So if you start them at a young age, even without toothpaste or anything on it, just get them used to the feel when you're puppy training, then that'll work out great. We'll talk more about all the different things that you need to do to desensitize them when they're puppies when we actually get Meiji, because that'll be a huge training issue of petting her and touching her in specific ways and getting her used to things like a toothbrush in order to get used to all of the different touches and sensations that she has to deal with. To continue on the whole touches and sensations thing, this I will also be putting on Button. I will also be putting on Meiji as she is a puppy. You want to do this as early as possible, so again, she gets used to it and wears them without question when she's older. Because when you're walking around with a service dog, she's with you all the time, on all surfaces, in all temperatures, and that can be really hard on their feet. So while she's a puppy, she's going to be trying these on and wearing them around just because we need her to get used to it. So now for a few car safety things. Safety belts. Buttons, as you've seen in previous videos, has a car seat, but she also has these little safety belts. This goes directly into the car seat, just like a regular seat belt would, and then this goes onto their harness. Also for the car are these things. Now I'm not gonna unwrap it now. It's basically one of those big seat cover things that protects the back seat of your car, but it also goes up and covers the in-between space so the dog can't jump into the front. Now, if she's seat belted down like we just showed you, that wouldn't happen anyways, but this way you get a little bit extra protection. And your car becomes easier to clean because you just lift this out, wash it, instead of having to worry about all of the hair and slobber and whatever they had on their feet all over your car instead. Okay. Ugh. So, one last thing that we have to get for a new puppy is a baby gate. Now, we actually got 2 of these and they're huge, which is great because a lab could easily jump over anything. And we got one that has a door so we don't have to jump over it. We got one on 2 sides of the kitchen and on the hallway so that we can keep Meiji in the living room specifically and avoid other rooms until she's trained and able to be left alone in the house by herself. And then this way we have less room and areas that we have to cover and worry about her. So now for a few service dog specific stuff. This is called a tie down. It's very small, only about 3 or 4 feet in total. What you want to do is you have this tied around, say, your coffee table or the leg of your couch, and you attach it to their harness to have them stay in one area. It gives them basically just enough space to stand up and turn around and lay down, similar to the crate. But it allows you to keep them in one little tiny area and not be stuck in the crate. This is also great for training because when she's a service dog, she's going to be sitting around with me while I'm at my desk doing absolutely nothing all day. And guess what? She's going to be tied down. Her leash will be attached to my desk or wherever it needs to be to keep her restrained in one small area. So this is great training for her to start. It also forces her to learn how to remain calm and quiet and just sit still. This, when they're tied down, is a great time to give them one of their chews to entertain themselves. Opposite to the tie down, you have an extended leash. This thing is like 20 feet long. You can get them all the way up to, I think, 50 feet. And basically, this is great for training when you're out in a wide area. Mostly you use this for things like callbacks. So I would go out to, say, the park or even on the street, the sidewalk, of course, and use this Let her stretch as far out as she possibly can, but she's still tied down and safe, so I'm not worried about her running off. Then you call her back and she comes back to you. In addition to the collars and the harnesses that we got, we also got a head collar. Now these are kind of hard to deal with and a little scary sometimes because people associate them with a muzzle. They're not. This is actually just something to help guide her head while we're training her walking. It also helps keep her focused as we're out walking. So this is actually better and easier for her than just the neck collar, and it can be better for her than just a harness. We also have this wonderful treat bag. This I recommend for anybody with any dog, not just a service dog. When they're training, obviously you want to be able to hand them a treat to reward them for doing a good job. She's actually going to be using her dog food as a training treat, which is great because it gives her part of her meal and it doesn't make her unhealthy. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been a great video for us to share with you and everything that you need to get for a new puppy or just for a regular old puppy. We hope you enjoyed it, and if there's anything that you are questioning or wondering if you should get for a dog, ask. I'm happy to answer and see if I've used it for my puppy, Buttons, or Meiji. And if there's anything that you recommend that we get, please let me know. I'm always looking for new and inventive things that I can add to my wonderful stack of things that I may need. Anyways, next time, hopefully we'll have some fun videos that actually include Meiji and a little bit of Buttons, because we're so close, she's almost home. Well, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below and let us know any comments that you have, or again, any items that you recommend that I should get. And don't forget now, your moment of Z's. This is what Buttons does while I'm doing videos. She leads a very tough life.